Kidlin's Law. Why writing down your problems solves half of them. Have you ever had a problem that felt overwhelming? The kind that keeps circling in your mind, making you feel stuck, stressed, and unsure where to begin? Yet something strange happens when you write it down. Suddenly, the problem feels smaller, clearer, more manageable. This is the idea behind Kidlin's Law, sometimes spelled Kidlin's Law. It says, if you write the problem down clearly, the matter is half solved. Just one sentence. But it contains one of the most practical thinking tools you can use in life, leadership, school, or business. In this video, we will explore what Kidlin's Law really means, why it works psychologically, and how you can start using it immediately to solve problems faster. Section 1. Why problems feel bigger in our heads. Most problems become overwhelming because they stay trapped inside our minds. Inside your head, thoughts mix together with emotions, worries, assumptions, and imagined outcomes. The brain starts stacking things on top of each other. One concern becomes 10. 10 concerns become a feeling of being overwhelmed. For example, someone might say, I'm stressed about everything. But what does everything actually mean? Is it work, deadlines, money, family expectations, health? Often, the problem is not one giant issue. It is a cluster of smaller issues that have blended together. Kidlin's Law interrupts that confusion. Instead of letting the problem float around in your mind, it forces you to define it clearly in writing, and clarity immediately reduces mental chaos. Section 2. Writing forces clear thinking. The human brain is powerful, but it has limits. It can generate ideas rapidly, but it struggles to hold multiple complex thoughts at the same time. When a problem remains in your head, it constantly shifts shape. You think about the cause, then you think about the consequences, then your mind jumps to worst-case scenarios. Writing slows that process down. It forces your thinking to become precise. Consider the difference between these two statements. I have too much work versus I have 3 reports due this week and I have not scheduled time to complete them. The second statement is clear, and clarity creates direction. Once you know exactly what the issue is, the next step becomes easier to identify. That is why writing is not just communication. It is a tool for thinking. Section 3. Writing reduces emotional distortion. Another reason Kidlin's Law works is psychological. When problems stay inside your mind, emotions distort them. Fear exaggerates consequences. Stress magnifies uncertainty. Frustration makes situations appear worse than they actually are. Writing creates distance between you and the problem. Instead of carrying it emotionally, you place it on paper. Now you can observe it objectively. Imagine placing an object on a table. You can walk around it, examine it, analyze it. That is exactly what writing does for problems. It turns something abstract and emotional into something visible and structured. And when something becomes structured, it becomes solvable. Section 4. Most problems become simpler. Once written, something interesting happens when you write problems down clearly. Most of them fall into a few recognizable categories. Some are information problems. You simply need more knowledge. Others are decision problems. You know your options, but cannot decide which one to choose. And some are action problems. You already know what to do. You just have not started yet. Writing reveals which category you are dealing with. Without writing, everything feels complicated. With writing, the structure appears. And once you see the structure, solutions become easier to design. This is why professionals, from scientists to executives, depend heavily on writing, diagrams, and whiteboards. They know clarity produces progress. Section 5. Leaders use Kidlin's Law. All the time. In leadership environments, you see this principle constantly. A team faces a complicated challenge. People begin discussing it. Ideas start flying in every direction. Then someone says, let's write this out. Suddenly, the team draws the situation on a board. They list the issues. They map causes and effects. They outline possible responses. Within minutes, What seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. This is Kidlin's Law at work. The act of writing transforms confusion into understanding. It allows people to think more strategically, and that shift from confusion to clarity often produces the first real solution. Section 6. How you can apply Kidlin's Law today. Using Kidlin's Law is simple. You do not need special tools, just a notebook or a blank document. Start with this process. First, write the problem in one clear sentence, not a paragraph, one precise statement. For example, I cannot finish my assignments because I keep delaying when I should start. Second, identify the main factors involved. What exactly is creating the difficulty? Third, separate what you can control from what you cannot. This step alone often simplifies the issue dramatically. Finally, write the next action step. Not the perfect solution, just the next practical move. When you follow this process, the problem becomes visible, structured, and actionable. And that is exactly what Kidlin's Law predicts. Once the problem is written clearly, half the solution already appears. In closing, Kidlin's Law teaches a simple but powerful lesson. Many problems feel overwhelming not because they are impossible, but because they are unclear. Clarity reduces complexity. Writing produces clarity. So the next time something is bothering you, confusing you, or keeping you stuck, try a simple experiment. Take out a notebook. Write the problem down clearly. You may discover that the solution begins revealing itself almost immediately, because when the problem becomes clear, the path forward becomes visible. If you found this idea useful, consider sharing this video with someone who might benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe for more ideas on leadership, thinking, and personal growth.